A really neat new feature in FileMaker 11 for collaborating with groups of people is the Snapshot link. Imagine that you're working and creating a found set. You spend a lot of time with lots of requests and lots of omits and all kinds of criteria in there, and then you've sorted it and resorted it and got it just right, and you've gone to a particular layout and you want to share this with a colleague or many colleagues. You could call them up and say, hey Joe, go ahead and search on this and add this request and spend a couple of minutes and hope that he gets it right. Or you could go ahead and use the new feature called Save Send Records as Snapshot Link. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a find, not a complicated find here because that doesn't really matter. We're going to do a find on California, perform that find, then we're going to go ahead and sort the records, and date of birth is fine. And then what we'll do is select a particular record, and we can even choose a layout if we want. And then when we choose Save Send Records as Snapshot Link, it comes up and asks us what do we want to call it. Well, we'll just leave the name that's there for right now, but you could name it anything you want as long as you keep the end here .fpsl. We choose whether we want records being browsed or current record, and we can even attach it directly to an email right away. So we'll go ahead and save it on the desktop, hit save, and then we'll get rid of this. There's the file. We double click on it, and it opens up a window. This is not the same window as before. That's the window we had before. We now have two windows. It's actually gone ahead and preserved that. So anytime you double click on it, it knows where to go find the file. It knows how to open up that found set, how to sort it, how to choose the right layout and everything. So it's kind of like opening a new window but passing along to a colleague who could be working on across the country on the East Coast or in some other country. As long as they have access to that multi-user database, you can share that state of your database with them. And let's go ahead and make sure that you're comfortable with what it's doing here. Let's open up this in a text file. And you can see that it passes no information regarding the data. It simply passes on these record IDs. So by sending this, you're sending a very small file with just record ID information and what layout you're on and what IP address it came from and all that kind of good stuff, but nothing that is sensitive data. So you'll be all right in passing this along and not worrying about somebody else getting it and going, oh my goodness, now I know all of their data. It's not in there. It's simply this simple file that tells FileMaker what to do, and these record IDs aren't going to help them at all. So I really like this feature, and again, it's really going to help you out with collaborating with your colleagues to say, look at what I've been looking at, and let's talk about it. I find this can be very handy. Just email somebody, they double click on it, they've got exactly the same thing as you were looking at on your screen.